Hello and welcome. My name is Danny Clayton and this is Build Series Sydney, and I'm joined now by international DJ, producer and lady of many hair colours, DJ Tigerlily.
What an intro and a rap. I like that. Many hair colours.
Well, I've definitely seen a few. I mean, gosh, right here. Case in point.
I know.
I mean, and the first time I met you, you had a black and purple number as well. Do you remember when we first met, actually?
Yes.
It's like 2000.
Maybe at Well Bar, I would say, probably.
Possibly. Neither
Or
of us
Soho.
remembered it. But in 2011, you had pretty much just won the She Can DJ.
Your shot?
Yeah, your shot.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was your first interview, and you were so nervous.
Oh my gosh, I actually do remember that at Greenwood.
No, this was like the following day, days.
Oh yeah, we did like a recount or whatever.
That's it.
I did. I had like pink, purple, and dark brown hair. Or something.
And I think you actually turned up in like this spiky bra thing. It was like metal all over you. I'm sure you would have set the metal detectors off at airports.
I had a phase which I was wearing spiky bras, spiky boots, spiky accessories, and then just like black. So I was like black and spiky.
Yeah.
Trying to be super badass. Don't know if it came across that way.
Yeah, you look like the lost member of Slipknot, the metal band.
The nervous lost member who was having some hair crisis.
Yeah, and then you went straight into EDM.
Perfect.
I mean, I did bring this up for a reason, because since that moment, it seems like the journey of the Tigerlily has been long, wide, and pretty intense. If you look back to those first few weeks as, I guess, the new champion DJ, how do you think that you were then compared to now? What was going through your head?
It seems really like a lifetime ago. It's so crazy to think back and I suppose just think about how much stuff I've done. One thing, I actually didn't win your shot. I came second. Oh. So everyone thinks I won, but I actually didn't. Gemellini brothers came first and I lost the grand final, which was devastating. But hey, apparently, it's not a bad thing in the end. But I remember really distinctively in the next few weeks that followed your shot, just kind of waiting and being like, what happens? When do I become a professional DJ? Is someone going to call me and like tell me they're ready for me? And I didn't get any phone calls. Nothing happened.
No.
I just, had my first gig at Soho, which was my prize for coming second in your shot. And then it was just really a long, hard slog. Everyone always asks, is there like one career defining moment where everything changed? And there really hasn't been. It's just been little progressions built up over time. One of my friends said the other day, drip, drip, make river. And I really like that because that's how I feel like it's been.
Yeah, wow.
10 years of, lots of little drips.
A lot of hustling from you.
Yes, of course.
I mean, you have been playing all around the world too. I mean, not just recently. You came back from a tour overseas, I believe?
I'm always away. Yeah. And I'm going away next week again as well. So there's a lot of traveling, especially at this point in time in Aussie winter because it's European summer and there's so much happening over there. So you really can't miss it. So I go over to Europe probably like 3 to 4 times a year and do like a couple of weeks at a time playing shows over there, which is awesome.
Yeah. Any favourite locations? I hear that you're quite a big thing in Italy.
Yeah, Italy's amazing.
Yeah.
I have so many beautiful fans there. It's so cool. They just are so passionate about everything. I love it. I really enjoy going to Sweden as well. The people there are also like really engaged with dance music. I'm actually playing in Portugal for the first time on my next trip next week. So that's going to be really fun. Looking forward to that.
Have you
audience.
picked up any languages, by the way? Can you speak a little bit of Italian? Or?
Yeah, I can order like food and say, hey, nice to meet you. My name is Dara. That's about it.
Yeah.
I can order coffee. That's the most important thing.
Of course. Essential. I mean, you're Australian, so you need proper coffee.
Well, they don't really have proper coffee over there, even though they think they made it. Sorry if there's any Italians watching this. They get really angry. I posted on Instagram once saying, no offense, Italy, Australian coffee is the shit. And hundreds of angry Italians DM me saying, no way, Australian coffee, what is this crime? Yeah.
I can imagine them just gesturing behind their laptops at you. Damn you!
Well, like making their 10th espresso shot for the day.
Totally. Now, music-wise, new tunes out. Some collab with Cheat Codes.
Yeah.
Tell us, how did that all come together?
So random. So I have been in the studio in Sydney. I just work with Universal in the studios downstairs most of the time. And I was actually in the studio working on some new music. And this email came through being like, hey, do you want to remix a new Cheat Codes track? And I was like, yes, of course. Just funnily happened that I was in the studio in that moment.
Ready to go,
literally. Got the stems and just started to have a muck around. So that came out about 2 weeks ago, which is awesome. I'm really excited for that. And I've just finished a whole handful of tracks actually that are ready to go. So we're just looking at, I suppose, new homes for them over the next couple of months, which is really exciting. I've had a few delays with my music the last couple of years just because of having some background problems, but it's all been like organized and ironed out, which is amazing. I'm so excited because I was still writing during this time, the last couple of years, and there's so many tracks that haven't seen the light of day, or I play them in my sets but like they're never going to be released, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. It's the nature of the music industry, as I'm sure you're super aware. Like 99% of tracks that are written will never be seen or heard. So, and
it's always the ones that come out really quickly that seem to have the most magic, because I definitely know that you've done some work with Kat Dunn,
Kashmir.
No, not Kashmir. So she goes by the name Nation. Sorry, Nat Dunn.
Oh yes, of course. Oh my God, Nat.
So Nat Dunn is one of those people that if you chuck into a studio, she just sings and she gets it. And I saw her do that track with Hayden James, Nowhere to Go.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you about what it was like to work with someone like Nat for a song.
Yeah, so we actually wrote a whole heap of songs together. Whenever I used to write in LA, she was my go-to like singer to work with because we had such good chemistry.
Yeah.
She's amazing and she's got such an incredible voice. I love the way that she works. So you'll have like a melody or a beat or something just kind of going on in the background and you'll be fiddling around with something so minuscule and she'll just be in the background and she will have hummed a melody, she does this thing where she's like like using like the syllables but not actually the words, and she creates a song before she even fills in the words, and then she fills in the words after she's like done the melody and like the syllables. She's incredible. And the couple of songs that I did with her, they were all in a day, like from nothing to a complete song at the end of the day, which is incredible.
Super fast.
She's
efficient.
a really, really fast worker, but I think that's great. The tracks that have done the best for me have been the ones that have been created in a day or half a day or even a couple of hours, as opposed to ones that you've sat there and you've gone back on again and again and again, and then you've released it 6 months later for whatever reason. They often kind of, they
don't have that same magic and the fire.
Yeah, it's literally like if you write it quickly, it'll get out quickly and people will really like it. Pick it up quickly. Yeah.
So who else do you think is someone that you work with really well? Someone that just seems to get, Dara?
From a music perspective or a creative perspective?
Both, maybe.
I have a really beautiful photographer that I'm working with at the moment. Her name is Jess. And as you probably know, for my work, visual stuff is so important because there are thousands of DJs out there, but you need to be able to tell the story of what's happening in your life and in your musical career and in your travels and in your shows for people to give a shit about it, right?
Yeah.
So I have to be working with someone who understands how to capture that. And so she's been touring with me for the last year, which has been awesome. And she does a really great job of capturing my whole personality. So like my on-stage presence and personality, my like dorky, really lame personality, which is just me. And then all the other bits in between, which has been a real pleasure to work with her because she makes me feel really comfortable on a camera and we get really funny stuff. We're just kind of starting up or refreshing, I suppose, my YouTube channel because I'm away so much and there's so many funny things that get captured on film and then it just goes and sits on a hard drive somewhere. So we were like, we have to just put this out, even if it's, just for ourselves. And I was watching this morning, pissing myself laughing at all these videos that we've captured over like the last couple of tours. So, Yeah, for me, having a photographer and a videographer that I really work with well creatively is, it's so important.
Unicorn Productions, just a full-time job.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's really hard to find girl creatives in the dance music industry, and then B, just creatives that you really vibe with. And I think women know how to shoot women as well, as opposed to men. Do you agree?
I agree. My lady boss, who is producing the show right now, probably appreciates that as well.
Yes. Well, really, they know angles, they know lighting. They just think about everything from a feminine perspective. They do. Whereas a guy is just like, done, yep, sounds great, and then doesn't really think about it again. And I'm like,
let's not take this sentence
I
out
have a double
context.
chin in that photo.
Totally. I mean, because let's talk about some of your music clips, because they seem very, very, vivid and colourful and bright. And, the one where you most represent this Tigerlily here, the last one, quite a poppy track, Ashes, I found to be really quite fun. And it sees you as a Barbie doll, essentially, and you've got some plastic Ken boyfriend, and you clearly have a very dysfunctional relationship. Tell us about that clip. Is this something that you dreamt up yourself?
Yeah, it actually was. So after doing a couple of video clips that were totally curated and directed by someone else, I didn't feel like they were representative of me and my brain and the things that I thought about. And so I asked the record label if I could take charge of my last video clip, and they said yes, which was amazing. So I had this idea to create like the Barbie and Ken perfect life, but then to comment on a whole heap of social issues that aren't super pleasant. So I think we commented on the environment in regards to it was getting really hot, I think, from memory, in the house, and everything was like overheating. We commented on testing on animals, especially like for like cosmetics and stuff like that.
I think Ken was doing steroids.
Ken was doing steroids,
just casually.
And I was getting like heaps of plastic surgery done. I was like being lined up for like to get my boobs done and my face lifted and all this kind of stuff. And then there was something to do with like we had like mental health comments as well. What else then maybe like we commented on the way in which the news and like mainstream media dictates like what we know and what we think about. So we I wanted to comment on all these different issues that you wouldn't normally think about looking at a perfect Barbie and Ken world.
Yeah.
And I think we did that really, really well, actually. It was a really fun day shooting. The team pulled off what I envisioned to a T, which was really awesome because I'd never done anything like that before, and I just had this idea of, this is what I want to do. And to see it come to life was super cool. So I would love to do more of that with my music clips in the future.
I guess it says a lot about the chameleon ability of Dara, because we get to see this kind of butterfly spirit child in one clip, then we get to see the Barbie girl Dara, but then we see you on stage, and God, I've seen some like wild costumes. Even in some, when you play some Hollywood party or some Halloween thing, and you're in these crazy outfits. Gosh, so any plans to shock and surprise us with the costume side of things in future shows?
I'm always doing crazy stuff with my outfits. I actually don't know how I get away with it. I wore these shorts the other day that were latex. They had a zip from my belly button down around to my backbone, and then were completely cut out. So there was like not much short happening, but they actually looked really good.
So most just butt cheeks.
Yeah, they were just covering the butt cheeks and private area and in latex, and that was about it. They were really comfy, actually, quite practical considering the shape of them. But yeah, I think I just like to wear things and dress in a way that I wouldn't wear otherwise. Like, I'm almost 30. I feel like I take myself pretty seriously when I am not in my stage outfit. So it's really funny and fun to be able to do that. And I often have a bit of a chuckle to myself when I'm getting ready, being like, wow, I am kind of getting toward my 30s and I'm dancing in fluoro latex in a nightclub at 3 a.m. on a stage.
So, that wouldn't even surprise me if I see you playing a one-piece leotard kind of thing. But if you were in tracky dacks and and sweats, I'd be like, wow, holy.
Or just like jeans and a tee.
Just jeans and a tee. Everyone else has to lift
happen.
their game, it appears.
I just don't know why they wouldn't have fun with it. Like there's so many different elements of like creativity that you can have fun with. And I think a lot of DJs obviously do that with their music, but you've got your look and your visuals and the way that you perform. And then of course the way that you convey all of that on social media. Like there's so much to think about. So yeah, it's pretty
definitely
fun.
Well, you seem to have some sort of powerful connection with Team Unicorn. I want to talk about Team Unicorn because to the unlearned, Team Unicorn almost sounds like a Fortnite gamer clan name. All right. But Team Unicorn is actually something quite special to you. Tell us about Team Unicorn.
So Team Unicorn is my followers, my OG followers, the people that come to my shows, that listen to my music, that listen to my radio show. And it's pretty crazy to think how this little community has grown over the past 10 years since I first started in Your Shot. Someone at one of my shows in Adelaide the other day actually had a shirt from my first ever release or collab with Rat Life. Do you remember that brand that Vengeance and his partner Helen curated?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
From 7 years ago?
Oh, probably longer, 8 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, we did a t-shirt collab with them. It was Tigerlily and Rat Life. They were super cool. And this girl came to a show with it on and I was just blown away and dragged her up on stage. Was like, everyone look at this. Grabbed a photo. It was amazing. But I think, Team Unicorn is just everyone that has been following me and partying with me and has really become friends with me since day one. It's pretty crazy. I've met and made so many good friends. And I still to this day continue to tour and to see so many of these familiar faces in the crowd, which is so nice.
And they're all around the world now.
Totally.
It's spread, Team Unicorn.
I went to the Maldives on holiday about 18 months ago, expecting to be totally undercover, get to the airport and there's two girls there with signs being hello, Tigerlily, we love you. And cute. I was like, what the heck? We are in the middle of the ocean and here you are. I meet fans in the most incredible places. So pretty cool and very weird at the same time.
I've heard that there's been even some that get your face tattooed.
Yeah, on their leg.
Whoa, how big are we talking here?
The whole calf.
No.
Yeah, full on.
Whoa.
And then another guy got Tigerlily on his heart. And then another guy got my signature tattooed on his forearm.
Whoa.
And it's quite big as well. He was write it on my arm. And so I scribbled on his arm and then he got it tattooed. And I would have done a heaps better job if I knew it was going to be turned into a tattoo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So now really your responsibility to continue to put out music is, tattooed. It's all on this guy now.
Literally.
You stop and he's going to have a useless tattoo.
I know. Can you imagine?
I mean, something else that you seem to have a connection with people on, besides the music, besides the video clips, besides the DJing and international shows, you've almost become a fitness role model and a health and well-being role model. Because when we speak to other people about DJ Tigerlily, some of them may never have even been to one of your shows, but they still like to keep up to date with what you're teaching them about the world and about life and whatnot. So does that weigh on you that you've become almost more than just a DJ?
No, I think it's awesome. I'd never thought about it. Was never an intention, put it that way, but I think it's really great because I'm really passionate about conscious influencing and people thinking about what they're doing with their influence. And I would say about 95% of influencers have blindfolds on and are just walking toward whatever cash deal is presented to them by whatever company they're, presented with. But I'm really about thinking consciously about what you're putting out on your socials and into the public eye and how is that going to affect other people. And actually I met some girls on the weekend and they were like, we haven't been to one of your shows before, but we found out that you're an Adidas ambassador and we love that and we think that's so cool and we love seeing all your stories at the gym and you doing handstands and trying to practice and get good. I suck at handstands, but I'm getting better. So that's my goal for this year. And it was just really refreshing and nice to see that they kind of came from a different perspective or came to me from a different avenue, which is really cool. And I also enjoy it because it means that I can talk about other things that I'm passionate about, like health and wellness, like animals, veganism, the environment, all that kind of stuff. And I'm not just stuck to talking about music in interviews. Don't get me wrong, music is great, but there's a lot of other shit that we can be talking about as well.
There's more to the world.
There is more to life than just music. So yeah, I feel very happy about that.
Yeah, cool. And I mean, like, not only that, you managed to score the front cover of Fitness First magazine.
Yeah, that was cool.
So that was a pretty wild trip for you.
Yeah.
What'd you do when you first picked up that copy of Fitness First? Did you rush it to your mum's house? Did you put it on the wall?
I stole like 5 copies or 10 copies or something, and I like sent one to mum and one to my grandma and made sure I kept some for myself. It's always really weird when you get like a great publication like that, seeing yourself around in that way. And all my friends would be sending me videos because I think in all the Fitness First gyms I was coming up on like the big TVs and stuff around the gym. So
it was super distracting. I go to Fitness First and
hey, there's Dara.
It's really annoying. Yeah,
and again.
I'm like, Dara, come on, I'm trying to
Stop
concentrate.
staring at me while I work out.
I felt really, really self-conscious.
Yeah, but no, that was really great. And I think it's lovely for me to be rewarded in that way, to be asked to do things like that, because coming from a DJ career exclusively and now doing a whole heap of other stuff, it is really rewarding because it shows that people take you seriously and take your opinion seriously, not just when it comes to partying.
Also because those two worlds weren't necessarily ones that got along. The DJ nightclub world and health and fitness, not exactly great friends, but there seems to be like this new generation of DJ and wellness advocates, the ones that have to somehow fit in health and fitness during their DJ careers, which you've seemed to have done very, very well. Now, we do have a few Q&As that have come in from the people watching.
Cool.
And generally...
Hi, people.
What advice would you give for any young DJ wanting to start their career? Any life lessons for this current landscape?
Current landscape.
Interesting because let's face it, when you first started, very different.
Very different.
CDs. Still burning CDs, labeling CDs. Yes. Now we've got USBs.
And you'd spill like a glass of like alcohol or like wine or something on your CDJ case, and you'd wake up and it would all be stuck together. You'd have to reprint or reburn another 100 CDs. Oh my God.
The worst. You have to remember which CDs were scratched.
I know.
Which tracks would fail. Absolute nightmare. So
so obviously a lot has changed since I started, but my advice would still be the same. And it is that I think you really have to perfect your craft as your first priority. So make sure you get really bloody good at DJing, because there are so many people that want to be DJs out there, as we all know, but not that many people make it. And so if you perfect your craft technically in that you can get up there and play a really great set, that's one massive element of it, like of the whole puzzle, that you can nail, and then you can focus on all the other bits, the performance, the networking, all that kind of stuff, which is also really important. But for me, I just had decks in my bedroom and practiced day in, day out for months to make sure that I was a really good DJ. Because especially in this environment and especially as a woman, people are going to second guess your technical ability. And I always think it's so funny when people like think that you can't really DJ that well, and then you go and you kill a show and do like great mixes, really technical stuff, and they are quite surprised. So I think that would be my first piece of advice, in that you just really need to perfect your craft. And my advice on that as well would be, sorry to babble on, would be to learn on old CDJs. So the CDJs...
What'd you learn on? The
400s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, those are old.
Yeah. I would get like 400s or something like that to learn on. 800s would still be fine. But the CDJs that we have today, they do everything for you. You can like... I'm pretty sure
sync button certainly takes a lot of work out of it.
Yeah, and you can see how fast the songs are going. You can see what you're playing. I would learn on old decks because you have to listen to the music and you really have to mix with your ears, not with your eyes and not with the computers. So, yeah, that would be my first piece of advice for people wanting to start out.
Have you had any crazy stalker fans?
like there's been obviously the people that have got the tattoos, which I think is pretty crazy. That's pretty dedicated. I had one guy travel to like 6 destinations in Australia over 3 weeks to come and see my show.
Whoa.
Which is pretty crazy because like my shows obviously change over time and every week I'll add new music, but like those sets would have been kind of the same, right? Over 3 weekends. Anyway, I tried to explain that to him. He didn't really seem to care. And then I've had actually, oh, this is crazy.
Here we go.
Recently, there's been this person popping up online pretending to be me, and they're trying to scam people for money and like crazy, like, I don't know what else, like photos and who knows what else. So they pretend to be me and they'll put my same profile picture up and they'll repost all my photos so it kind of looks the same account wise.
You mean I didn't send you all those nudes?
No, you didn't.
Gosh.
Someone else has them.
Oh.
But yeah, so then they'll go and they'll say, hey, you know, I'm Tigerlily, and the person will freak out because they actually think it's me because they probably haven't looked at the profile to see that there's only 60 followers. And then they'll be like, oh, you know, it's so nice to talk to you. Love getting to know you. He, miss you. All this stuff. And then next minute they're like, hey, what's your bank account details? Where do you live? So 3 different times I've had to ask everyone like on my social media profiles to like help report this person because they keep coming back.
Yeah. So you're just going to let your, 800,000 followers, look, I'm not going to ask you for your bank account details. Just never. At no stage.
I will never ask you for any personal details, I promise. Unless you win a meet and greet and then I might ask for your full name.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, people should be savvy. They should know.
I don't know.
What has been the wildest gig that you've ever played? That's a good question because, God, I've been to some of your wild gigs.
Yeah.
So what do you think is your wildest?
The wildest actually probably only happened the other day. I was in Greece playing at a club called Fire Out Beach Club in Eos. I play here every year, and every year it's top 5 of my favorite gigs every year. It's this massive outdoor club, probably like, 2,000 person capacity on the beach in the Greek islands. Pretty spectacular.
Toes in sand beach or like up against the beach? Paint us a picture.
Okay, so there's the water and then the sand, and then there's the beach club. And the beach club has like a pool and like a gradual incline with these like big sails and palm trees everywhere. And I'm in this like big round white cylindrical DJ booth with like a huge LED screen up behind me. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So life's pretty good being DJ Tigerlily. I'm guessing,
I did get driven to that show on the roof of a Hummer. So yes, that was very funny.
One way to make it a wild
gig.
No
complaints. But that gig was incredible. I play there every year. It's amazing. But this year, for some reason, it was just so good. I actually played for 3 hours, which I don't usually do. I usually go in and play 90 minutes and then I'll leave. But I was just having so much fun and the crowd was so energetic. People were like ripping their shirts off and on each other's shoulders and screaming and doing shoeies, and like it was just crazy. So it was really, really fun.
That's not something you've encouraged overseas as
Never.
well, is it? The shoey? Oh dear, bad influence. So you mentioned that you love to be creative with your style.
Yeah.
Someone asks, where do you draw your inspiration from?
I think other women, for sure. There's some really awesome girls doing some really cool stuff online, and I think that Instagram is a really beautiful place to like get really great inspo, especially when it comes to style. I just like my explore feed is literally full of like girls wearing cool outfits and cute animals, and so I just save different things that I like and try and get inspiration from there. I really like supporting Australian brands as well. There's a brand called IMGR, which I wear a lot of. They do some really cool stuff, and it's owned by 2 Aussie girls, which is really cool to see, Aussie babes absolutely killing it. It's really nice.
Do you use your platform to support other girls in the biz?
Yeah, 100%. One of my friends just started up a lingerie label, so I posted a photo in that the other day, which she was super stoked about, and love to like share when my friends do good stuff. There's this meme on Instagram and it's like everyone buys Yeezys when Kanye does a release, and everyone buys Kylie's new lip kit when like she releases that. But like what happened to, buying your friend's new denim jacket line, or even just giving them a like on Facebook and a comment or whatever it might be. And it's just kind of saying we really should be supporting all the small businesses and what our friends are doing online. And I think that's really important to remember.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, as they say, it's like when the tide rises, all the boats rise together.
Yes.
And one last Q&A. If
Yeah.
you could collaborate with anyone living or dead, who would you like to collaborate with?
I really want to do a song with Miley.
Oh, gosh, we've been talking about Miley all morning.
Yeah,
Love
I know
Miley.
she's so like hot off the press right now, but despite all the other like her life drama, musically, I love her. And her last song, the video clip and like the lyrics and stuff for that were really powerful, just about being a woman and owning your own body and being proud of that and not being told what to do with your body and how to use it. I really love that and resonate with that. So yeah.
Yeah, sisters, doing it for themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hopefully we will see that in the future.
Oh, it's going to happen.
But
It's on my vision board.
Looking forward, though, I guess that the next chance people will get to experience the Tigerlily could be in Vegas. I hear you're doing the JBL Festival.
Yeah.
What's that all about? You've done lots of shows in Vegas already. Is there something differently that you do when you know that you're going to Vegas?
So I played in Vegas a whole heap. I had a residency at Hakkasan and Wet Republic for a couple years. But every year JBL, they're a brand that I work with, work really closely with them. They have a massive conference in Vegas where they invite all their staff, friends of the company, distributors, all that kind of stuff for, I suppose, a big party and conference.
That sounds like a party I want to go to.
Honestly, It is so much fun. They're such a beautiful company to work with. I've made some really wonderful friends there. So I go and I play a couple of shows. Usually one's like a day pool party or something like that, and one might be a night party. I played before Pitbull last year, which was like super cool.
You mean Mr. Worldwide?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was never really like a Pitbull fan, and I am a massive Pitbull fan now. He was so good at performing. Performing is hard. It is an art in itself, and he was incredible. And then I played before Armin and Nicky Romero, Sunnery James and Ryan Marciano at another fest that they had in the French Alps, which was amazing. So JBL put on these really incredible location parties for their community every year.
You always seem to be in the snow, surrounded by ginormous portable speakers. Yes. I don't understand your life sometimes.
Neither do I. Well, a lot of it's spent on the couch with my dog, but then a lot of it is spent in the snow surrounded by portable speakers. So, yeah.
Yeah, rock and roll. So we're very, very excited to see what is next on the table that is DJ Tigerlily. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been a real pleasure catching up with you, Dara.
It's been so nice. It's lovely to see you. Thanks for asking me great questions and having a chat.
You're welcome. And, we're all very excited to see what the future can bring. Hopefully a bit more classic piano, which I know that you're quite talented at.
I feel like I'd be a bit dusty at that, but you know what? I should brush off my parents' piano and give it a go. I'll do it for you.
So a big round of applause for Dara, otherwise known
Thanks, guys.
as DJ Tigerlily. This has been Build Series Sydney.